Hey, fellow theme park fans, Englentine, the homegrown tourist here. And we are doing round 2, 3, and maybe even 4 of the brackets for Magic Kingdom. We are talking about what are the greatest rides of Magic Kingdom. We've already eliminated some big dogs. We've already eliminated such rides as the Jungle Cruise, which good stuff. Good stuff. Is there anything that you remember we eliminated that that you're like, ooh, okay, yeah, I wouldn't agreed with that?
No, I think right now, as far as it stands, I'm pretty satisfied with our decisions.
Yeah.
What was it that beat Carousel of Progress last week?
Hall of Presidents.
Hall of Presidents. Yeah, that was a tough
Carousel
one.
of Progress. That is, we've got a couple of those. Where would you have gone? Oh, by the way, we got a special guest here, my cousin Alana.
Hey, Alana.
Carousel of Progress.
Probably Carousel of Progress.
That's what I went with.
Yeah, that's what my friend Mark went with, and it got eliminated. Now, I've got to find a way. I'm thinking, but if I turn this on, then she's going to be hearing. Aha. I'm wondering about how I can let this young lady actually hear what you guys are saying.
That would be helpful.
Yeah, because I'm here with the headphones on. So let me turn on this. Yeah, Carousel of Progress, excellent ride, excellent attraction. Lost out, I believe, to the Hall of Presidents, which is also excellent.
Yeah.
Why would you have picked Carousel of Progress over it?
The Carousel of Progress is just always been an attraction that's just kept my interest. The Hall of Presidents is just history. I mean, history is important, but like, we also need to remember time and how it's passed and keep true to our future. Okay, that's something. That's something. Though I'm a huge fan of Hall of Presidents. You put the two of them together. Like I said, for Carousel, it was just a matter of being a little bit dated, even in the future part. In the future part, it's dated. It needs some work to make it up there, but
being a little bit okay.
Good.
There you go. We are on an 8-second, an 8-second thing, but there you go. Hopefully you can hear that. Is that upsetting you guys? Can you hear it? We are on an 8-second. There you go. All righty. Let's see. Professor, are you back? Okay. You know what? If we guys, are you there?
Hey,
we're here.
Sorry. Yeah, I'm here.
There you go. I want to make sure who's here. Okay, let's get this party started. Let's get it on the road. This party on the road. And like I said, you're taking Dalton's place, so that means Alana, you get the first. You get to start us off here.
All right.
Once again, I tried to get as close to each attraction as possible. So what you've got to decide is what is better here. The Walt Disney World Railway or the Wedway People Mover.
Oh,
That's a Sophie's choice right here. Where would you go?
definitely People Mover.
Okay, explain why. Come on in, Nathan.
The train is purely, for me, just another way to get around the park.
Mm-hmm.
But the People Mover is actually like a ride. You can actually see different parts of the park that no one else can see if you don't go on it. Like the map of the Epcot that Walt Disney.
The original Epcot.
Yeah, and just like you can see like extras into the different rides inside that section of the town, and it's a really cool overview of the park. Okay, so you're going People Mover. Tim, how about you? Where do you go on this one?
I'm gonna go with the railroad.
Oh, all right.
That's a tough matchup that you did. Now, between the two, I do like the Wedway People Mover better. However, I'll just go back to my original argument from last week, which is that there is a practicality with the railroad. You can actually use it as a means of transportation and use it as an attraction. So it serves two purposes in one. But the third factor to throw into it is the historicity of it. So I think those three things combined makes it uniquely vital to, I guess, the tone of the Magic Kingdom.
Okay, so we got one each there. Let's go over. Oh, wait, no, I'm the third one. Man, this is rough. This is rough because I will sing the praises of both of these for the same exact reason. The railway or the Wedway People Mover are both attractions you could just kick back, relax, and enjoy. But like you said, one takes you around the park and and but the thing is I think both of them show things that you can't see unless you're on it, unless you do the riverboat around. But my goodness gracious. I know this will sound weird, but I actually think Wedway People Mover is more accessible, even though it's only in Tomorrowland and you have 3 ways to get onto the train. That's a plus. But also the train is a longer ride. God dang it. Why did I do this to myself? This is, you know what?
Because you wanted to be cruel to the rest of us, and then you inadvertently dragged yourself down. That's why.
Yeah, that's kind of what happened. Can you hear this? There we go. Okay. I've got to go with, I've got to go with the railway. Just basically based on the fact that it is a longer ride. They're basically the same thing and serve the same function to me. So I gotta go there. Let's see, Dalton, you just popped in. I gave Alana the first shot at your question there. Where would you go? Wedway
in terms of comparing the People Mover to the railway.
Yeah, what's your favorite? Which one do you keep?
I think I'd go with the railway. I think there's more ambiance to the railway, and it is a longer ride, but it is also a functional, like Tim said, and like I said last week when I was defending it in the first bracket, it is a functional method of transportation, whereas the People Mover is not. Even though I think the People Mover should be. That is honestly true. The solution is modify the People Mover so it can be a functional method of transportation. That's the solution here. But being things as they are right now, I've got to go with the train. Also, it was one of Walt's favorites, so it gets the Uncle Walt bump there.
Okay, so how about you, Mark? Which direction would you have gone in?
The train, because I mean, both the train and the People Mover essentially serve the same purpose. You know, They take you around the park and they show you the better rides you could be on. The difference is that they can't kick you off the train. If you want to do 20 circuits on the train, you can do 20 circuits on the train if you're exhausted. People Mover, when the ride's over, the ride's over. You got to go back down that escalator and wait in line again if you want to get back on. So, I mean, the train's better.
I wonder if there's a record for riding the train. Like if I got on at opening, could I do it all day long? You know, minus of course bathroom breaks and whatever food they'll let me sneak on or something.
No bathroom breaks for you.
Well, yeah, I guess I could just stand up and ride over the side. I'll make sure I'm in the front row though. So
I think that would be enough to evict you if you tried that.
Probably. All right, Prof. How about you? You can vote in, but I think the People Mover's rightly gotten its butt kicked.
No, I was gonna say People Mover because when it comes to between the train and the People Mover, the People Mover actually takes you into places. Whereas we live in Florida, I don't want to be outside any more than I have to be.
Okay, I can see that.
But it also comes down to trains are just loud. They are very loud. And if you want to relax, you can ride it 50 times. Doesn't matter. It's still going to be a headache.
Outside and loud just doesn't do it for you, huh?
Nope.
All righty.
In the park if I wanted that.
Okay. Well, let's go over to Tim here. We're gonna forward the train into the next round, and let's go to Tim and ask him. Tim, which one would you keep, Dumbo or Buzz Lightyear Space Ranger Spin?
Ooh, I'm having to struggle against my reason because I like Dumbo, just for the nostalgia of it.
Thank you for sitting in.
Yeah.
Pure nostalgia. That's
Pure
what's
nostalgia.
All right.
Gosh. I'll go with reason. I'll say Buzz Light. No. I will stick with Dumbo. I changed my mind because luckily my brain kicked in. So I was going to go with Buzz Lightyear because I was going to say that it was unique in its ride system, that it actually achieved something that's fairly novel for the park, but that's not true because last week I mentioned that there are other rides like it in other parks within the Disney World circuit and with Universal's Men in Black Alien Encounter. So given that that novelty has already been kind of repeated, I can default to nostalgia and say that Dumbo has been kind of a seminal feature of the park. It's a good ride for kids, typically not a long wait time. It's good for adults. It's nostalgic, and it's the better of the round and round rides that we kind of looked at last week. So I'll go with Dumbo.
Okay. Personally, I think you're wrong. I'm going to go with Buzz Lightyear on this one because, well, like you said, yes, there are other Buzz Lightyear rides in Walt Disney area, but there are 2 other Dumbo attractions in Magic Kingdom. That is the best. Well, no, I actually like Starjet. So in my opinion, it's not even the best.
But we eliminated those last time.
We did, but that doesn't mean that is still not in the park. Even though I think Buzz Lightyear is possibly the worst of the ray gun things, I actually would prefer to ride on that and to try to get that high score, shooting that hand on the Rock'em Sock'em robots as much as I can. So I would have to go there. Which Mark, which direction are you going in?
I mean, so it's kind of like Tim pointed out. You know, there's multiple dark ride shoot 'em up rides. You know, Men in Black, Toy Story, Midway Madness, and then Buzz Lightyear. And Buzz Lightyear is the least of those 3. But same thing with Dumbo. You've got Aladdin's carpets, and then you got the thing in Tomorrowland, the rocket ships.
Right.
And Dumbo is basically on par with those. But so it just, to me, it comes down to which one's more fun. And even though Buzz Lightyear is the least of the dark ride shoot 'em ups, it's more fun than Dumbo. I mean, Dumbo is historical. And I think I probably would have enjoyed Dumbo more if I was 6 years old now and I went to it because it has that whole big top playground. They didn't have that when I was a kid. I went in 1991, and that didn't exist back then, so I didn't get to experience it as a kid. So I'm sure that if I was a little kid now, you know, that playground looks really cool. It's like going into a Chuck E. Cheese with the ball pit and the maze and the tubes and all that stuff. But I can't enjoy that now. I'm in my 30s.
Not without people looking at you very strangely.
Right. You know, they call the police, right? No, so if all I can do is like if what I personally as an adult can experience and enjoy, it's going to come down to Buzz Lightyear. So that's my choice.
Okay. People who vote against Dumbo are like those mean lady elephants. Okay.
It's true.
By the way, I could barely read comments. So if Dalton, if anybody else wants to take care of comments, this is what happened to my screen today. So yeah, I can barely read comments today. So if anybody else wants to, I would certainly appreciate it.
I will do my best.
There we go. All righty. So we've got, we're 2-1 here. Professor, where do you stand on the Dumbo Buzz Lightyear debate?
I am going to have to go with Buzz Lightyear of Star Command. Honestly, in just comparing the 2 rides, I think that even kids will have more fun on Buzz Lightyear than they will on Dumbo. Because they love, just like you said, they love shooting the spots, and then whenever they get a sudden boost in score that they didn't expect, and they like the competition aspect.
Because let's face it, if you're not used to that ride, you don't know where to shoot.
That's true, and they get to spin it themselves. So
that is true. Just
between the 2, Buzz Lightyear of Star Command.
I once was behind a kid that did nothing but. I would already be throwing up. All righty. Well, that settles it. Buzz Lightyear moves forward. But Dalton, where would you have gone?
I would have gone with Buzz Lightyear as well. to infinity and beyond, because unlike Tim, I don't let my reasoning get corrupted in these sorts of situations.
Damn. What the heck? You just
Everyone's giving Tim shit tonight.
He admitted to it. I'm not going to pull any punches here. But point being, and my two factors for determination here are immersion and complexity. Because let's face it, the kind of spin around ride that Dumbo is so reproducible because it is so simple. You can make the arguments that the Midway one is better for Buzz Lightyear, and the Men in Black one is certainly better for, for Universal and so on. But even then, it's a more immersive experience that you actually get to participate in, and it's a more complex piece of technology, whereas you could basically make a Dumbo-esque ride of your own if you had enough mechanical engineering know-how pretty easily. So yeah, Buzz Lightyear it is. Apologies to Dumbo, but historicity isn't going to save you this time.
It is what it is.
Marania just wants to clarify that it's just her opinion that people who vote against Dumbo are heartless, like those mean Lady Elephants who tormented him.
Yes,
not the opinion of this channel.
I'm sorry, Maranya, but in this case, I had to follow the pink elephants of reason.
Maranya asked, is Tim the only one on this panel with a heart?
It's true. I am the only person on this panel with a heart.
Actually, we share one heart. He's just holding it right now.
It's like David Jones. Somebody put in a jar of dirt so you can't get at it.
Yep. Alrighty, so last week I actually accused myself of giving you guys the hard decisions and then giving me the easy one. I did it again. So the next one up, Monsters Laugh Floor versus Hall of Presidents. I'm starting this one off, and I'm sorry, but I go with Hall of Presidents. I told you the guys the reason I actually voted against Monsters Laugh Floor last week. I think it is just the cheesy jokes. If you're over the age of 6, and if you're not picked for anything, it's a very cringe-worthy show. Hall of Presidents is old-fashioned Disney Americana, that rah-rah patriotism feel. I don't think it is affected whether or not you are in agreement with the person that is in the office at the point, because all they do is do his inaugural address. So I think it's I think it's a great and classic show, one of the opening day attractions, and it absolutely deserves its spot in the third round. Alrighty. With that being said, Mark, where would you go on this one? Hall of Presidents?
Hall of Presidents, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I've heard people say that it's boring, and Tim and I used to joke that they should get the ghost host from Haunted Mansion to do the narration in Hall of Presidents. Should be like, welcome to the Hall of Presidents. I introduce to you this chilling challenge to find a way out. Like, oh no, it's so boring. But maybe if you're a little kid, again, if you're a little kid, you'll find Monsters Laugh Floor much more entertaining than Hall of Presidents. But I did Hall of Presidents when I was a kid. I thought the animatronics were really cool, but maybe it was 1991 and people were more impressed by animatronics back then. I don't know. But I always liked the Hall of Presidents. I'd rather do that than listen to the same. I'd rather listen to the same speeches from the same robot presidents than the same terrible jokes from the same CGI Mike and Sully. So yeah, Hall of Presidents.
Yeah, well, I actually saw Hall of Presidents when I was a kid too, and yes, we were amazed by audio animatronics. Oh wow, because we would do things like, I love the way they shift during, like when Lincoln stands up, you'll see shift and they'll look around, they'll just be like, that kind of thing, and it's just little touch, like they could have mannequined them just easy, but they didn't, and I do like that. Okay, so that brings us to the Professor. Monsters Laugh Floor or the Hall of Presidents?
just on the whole thing we've said, where it's classic Disney Americana, it goes to the presidents right there. I can't. Nobody can choose Laugh Floor in comparison.
Okay. Wow, that pretty much nails it. So Dalton, Tim, would you guys have fought for the monsters or?
Nope, I would have gone with Hall of Presidents.
Ditto.
Okay, yeah, that easiest choice of the day. All righty, so from one easy decision to another easy decision, it's going to go to Mark. It's going to go to Mark, and you get to start us off on the Enchanted Tiki Room or the Country Bear Jamboree.
Ooh, now that is a tough one.
Yes.
You heartless bastard.
Oh, I know, right? Well, both of them are so vintage. They, especially since they restored the Tiki Room, both of them feel like they're out of their rides, their attractions out of time. Like they haven't been touched. You can find the new stuff in Haunted Mansion. You can find the new stuff in Pirates of the Caribbean. But when you go into Country Bears or the Tiki Room, it's, at least so far as you can detect, it feels unchanged from the 1960s or 70s whenever they were first built. So it's very hard to choose one over the other. I think I like Tiki Room better, and that is a very narrow margin. But Tiki Room is one that I remember just having. I think I go through a better gamut of emotions with the Tiki Room. It starts out really, really fun and like it says, enchanting. You know, oh boy, the songs are so up tempo and happy, clap, clap, clap. And then all of a sudden it's like, oh crap, the walls are coming alive and the gods are angry and the volcanoes are exploding. Oh, but everything's okay again. Oh boy, this is great. Country Bear Jamboree is just kind of like I think the only time they change the mood is when there's blood on the walls, but that's funny too.
The Teddy Bear, when she comes down.
Yeah. All the guys that turn me on, turn me down.
No,
that one.
Okay, which one am I thinking of? Who's the one that comes down from the ceiling? She does a love song.
Yeah, that's a different one. No, I'm thinking of the
Teddy Bear. You're right. The one with the thing. All the guys that turn me. Okay, and then you have the three bear. Yeah, all of it. All of Country Bear is up tempo and fun. That being said, I don't get a vote unless you guys don't agree. So let's move this over to Professor.
I have to go with the Tiki Room. I love the Country Bears, absolutely, positively. But when it comes to it maybe if Country Bears still had where they would change for the season, maybe that would give it the boost that it needs, but it just doesn't. And when you compare the two shows, the Tiki Room is just better overall. And I can watch it at least 3 times in one park visit and still enjoy it. So,
all righty. Dalton, how about you?
I also am going to have to keep the gods happy by choosing the Tiki Room. Because for one thing, honestly, I just like the theming of the Tiki Room better than I like Country Bears. I'm not saying I don't like Country Bears, but
yeah, it's an excellent show.
this is the choice we were given. So given the choice we were given, I would much rather sit through the Tiki Room than Country Bears. And I just like the tribal aspect, and of course, I'm a sucker for a mystical element, as everyone knows. So there's that. And so yeah, Tiki Room takes it, I guess.
Okay, that actually that makes sense. That makes sense. Okay, so where would you have gone, Thump?
I would have gone with the Tiki Bears too.
Tiki Bears.
The embarrassing word.
I couldn't decide on either, so I had to combine both into one in this whole.
So much like Tim with Dumbo, I would have been the only person who agrees with Moranya, saying when she thinks of Disney World, thinks of Country Bears. Who the hell's heard of Tiki Room? Well, I have. I prefer the Country Bears. I just love the upbeat. But once again, these are great shows.
Well, I think before the night is over, each one of us will be solitary in our ride choices.
At least
yeah, probably
ride choice or something. Yeah.
Marania was accusing us of not having a heart for choosing Buzz Lightyear, and she wants to get rid of the freaking tiki room.
So would I.
Yeah, talk about making the gods angry.
Alrighty. Let's see. Next up, I don't know how this one would be, Professor, if this is a hard choice or not. And I think this is actually an easy one.
Okay.
Mainly, but you could decide Barnstormer or the Mad Tea Party.
Barnstormer. I'm not going to feed into the nostalgia of, oh, it's teacups. Teacups are everywhere, but Goofy only has one ride, I believe. So right there. That, in fact, I am going. Give me just a second. I am going to show my support for Goof right now.
Wait, he has 2 rides. He has the one in he has the new one, the Mickey ride.
Yeah,
he's the conductor.
there you go.
Goofy, no question.
Ladies and gentlemen, Daniel Radcliffe. All right.
I'm sorry, Pixel. That was just that. To be compared to Daniel Radcliffe is truly shameful. So sorry.
Hey, at least I'm not the drugged out Daniel Radcliffe.
There you go.
So.
Yes, you're Sorcerer Apprentice Daniel Harry Potter, not.
Yeah. Then again, you might be the Daniel Radcliffe from Woman in Black instead of the Potter. So
he's the adult version. There you go. All righty. So yeah, you go Barnstormer. That's awesome. Let's bring it over. Who's got the next? That would be Dalton.
I am going to feed into it is the teacups, mostly though because I don't like roller coasters, so I can't speak to the quality of the roller coaster. And it seems to me like the Barnstormer is if you're the type of person that likes roller coasters, the Barnstormer's kind of a cop-out roller coaster-wise, as far as the thrill part of the thrill ride goes. So, teacups it is. We're all mad here.
All righty. Tim.
I will agree with the teacups as well. I think that thematically it makes more sense in that, I mean, you know what it is just by riding it, even though there's not really a story behind it. It's like, hey, it's it's Alice in Wonderland, it's the teacups. The Barnstormer, it's funny because we don't really ride with great frequency every year, but I think we've ridden the teacups more than we have the Barnstormer. The Barnstormer it's uncomfortable. I mean, you can't even fit 2 people most of the time into one slot. It's quick. It's I don't know. It almost feels like something that was just built in your backyard. So I just think everything is leaning more into the teacups' favor.
I've got to agree. I'm the next one up here. So yeah, I've got to end this particular debate by saying it's the Mad Tea Party, mainly because I think the Barnstormer, for what it is, it's a kids roller coaster, is really good for kids. My daughters have gone on the Tea Party since they were little. Loved it. So Mad Tea Party is for whoever can fit in those cars, and as a bigger guy, I can't fit in the Barnstormer. And I remember one time we tried to get, even when I was thinner, we tried to get me and my daughters onto this, and we couldn't fit. It was uncomfortable. It just wasn't as fun. Mad Tea Party, you get to control how fast and how much spinning. So I'm going to have to go with the Mad Tea Party on this one to send that one forward. All righty. Which brings us to our next debate.
Oh, do I not get to talk?
No.
Oh, okay, go on. No, Mark. We're actually trying to cut down on that. Okay,
yeah.
so Mark, I'm sorry. Where would you have voted on that one?
Teacups, just because honestly they're both kiddie rides, but I think the teacups as a kiddie ride goes is more intense than the Barnstormer because, like you said, you get to control the spin and the speed of it, so you can get a more herky-jerky, volatile ride out of the teacups if you want to than the Barnstormer, where you have no control and you're just kind of on a very mild track. Maybe the Barnstormer would be more interesting if they kind of turned it more into a dark ride simulation sort of thing, where there is a bit more to look at while you're going so very slowly across that very average track, but there isn't really, so it's more boring. I like the teacups better.
You just wanted to kick me while I was down, huh?
Yeah, that's right.
I brought out the
you did a face reveal over the Barnstormer, Pixel. How does it feel? You had one chance at a face reveal, and that's how you wasted it.
That's it.
Hey, if Goofy's so great, how come his wife is dead?
Sorry. Goofy killed his wife. I mean,
that was too soon,
well, he didn't
man.
say
That
he
was too
killed
soon.
him. My goodness. Mark brings down the room by mentioning that Goofy's wife is dead, and then you bring it even further down by mentioning it was a homicide, and Goofy was responsible?
I was saying that he was speculating.
Oh, my goodness gracious.
No wonder Max has so many issues.
No kidding. Max was the one who saw it. Oh, my goodness gracious. Max had to carry the axe and the head when they were burying the body.
It was actually Clarabelle killing over a jealous rage.
Goodness gracious, that is really horrible. All righty, let's go over. Mad Tea Party wins by a mile here. Let's go over with the next one, and we're going to start with Dalton here. Another easy decision, I think. Peter Pan, classic ride, of course, or Pirates of the Caribbean.
You son of a so-and-so that I can't say because it's Disney Channel.
Thank you.
I'm gonna go with Pirates because it's more intense. I think the theming is more interesting, and I think there's a visceral and intense quality to Pirates that, honestly, as far as the themes of Peter Pan go, is better at getting you to think like a child again. Like every boy at some point, whether it's the swashbuckling aspect or the fancy parlaying aspect or the sword fighting aspect, every boy at some point wants to be a pirate. And on the grounds that Pirates is actually better at capturing your inner child than Peter Pan, Pirates takes it.
All righty, that's not a bad little assessment. Let's who's got next. Tim, how about you? Peter Pan versus Pirates.
I'll go with Pirates of the Caribbean. Again, that's a really difficult decision, but I think it does boil down to, at this point, they kind of both achieve what they want to do. But the key difference is that I think the Pirates of the Caribbean has not only kind of a broader appeal just based on age, but I think it's stood the test of time, even despite its flaws. We talked last week about kind of how politics has been involved with it, and yet it's not so bad that it deters us from going on the ride. Whereas Peter Pan, just the wait time alone is enough to have us year after year just say, we can skip that. I love them both, but I think that Pirates definitely has more longevity and more legs to stand on.
I'm the third one on this one, and here's the thing: you guys heard me rail against the Pirates. And I might just, you know what? I'm gonna send the Pirates forward here, so maybe I'll save my ranting for the next one. The thing is about Peter Pan versus the Pirates is the Pirates. Generally, even when it's a longer wait, it doesn't feel like it. You're inside. It's got stuff to look at. So does Peter Pan because of the room they've got right now. But it's if you have a 30 or 40-minute wait on Pirates, generally you're going to have an hour to 2 hour wait on Peter Pan. And Pirates is going to take you through a 10 to 15-minute ride while Peter Pan's going to swing you around. It's going to be a minute and a half. It's going to be over. That alone, plus I still am going to jump onto the whole fix the sound and Peter Pan thing. And to me, Pirates have to go forward. That's just the way I'm seeing this. Mark, how about you? What do you think about this particular argument?
Pirates by a long mile. I mean, it was fairly intact when I went to see it as a kid, and it's gone through a lot of changes, just over the years, and yet they haven't ruined it. I mean, yeah, they got rid of the pirates chasing the women. Yeah, they got rid of the auction. Yeah, they changed the lady in red into a female pirate. Yeah, they added Johnny Depp, but the ride's still good. And if it's one of those rides that if you never rode the old one, even if you're only familiar with the new one, it's still a good ride and you still have fun and you still enjoy it. And I understand that Peter Pan has stayed pretty immutable. I mean, I know that they did things like they added Peter Pan. He wasn't there back in the 60s, and they added like little nods, like Ariel has a cameo in there now, stuff like that. But it's a much milder experience. It goes through the story of the movie, which you're familiar with, whereas Pirates of the Caribbean is a wholly original IP, a wholly original story, a wholly original idea. And I think that has a lot more value. It's a longer ride. The wait time isn't as long. It has a cooler queue line. It's just better. I like it so much better.
Okay. There we go. We got a winner in the Pirates. And Dalton, anything that you would would be like, ooh, Peter Pan?
It wasn't me that was last this time.
That was. Oh, okay. I'm sorry. Who am I forgetting? Professor. Professor.
I would have chosen Peter Pan. You are all so wrong.
Okay.
Peter Pan.
Just why we're wrong.
Because Peter Pan. We're choosing basically. We could go on a ship and we can go through an experience that has been basically ruined. There's nothing classic about it anymore. Nothing about it except the guy with the pigs and the one person with the dirty foot. Other than that, it's been consumed by the modern times. Whereas Peter Pan is classic, and I know you complain about that sound, but whenever I hear "Smee, help me, Smee, help me," it's something that sticks in my mind. And when you go past the moon and here we go, and you see down there, I'm trying to remember the dog's name. Is it Nanny?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
Nana.
Yeah. It's something wholly classic. That's wholly Disney for me. Whereas Pirates, whenever I write it, I'm just shaking my head knowing what was there before. Peter Pan, every decision they've made to try to refurbish it, which is basically the line queue, it's still a better decision than half the decisions they made on Pirates. So I would have had to say Peter Pan.
I don't know. He's making some good arguments here. But even had I changed my mind, we would have
been outvoted. I know.
Yep. All righty. So the last in the last battle in round 2, we're going to go over to Tim. It's the Battle of the Mountains. Big Thunder or Splash, Tim? Which way do we go?
Splash Mountain.
Wow, that took time.
That was a quick draw right there.
I know, right? Okay, explain why.
Both really entertaining. Both great classic mountains. Splash Mountain, however, is so much bang for your buck. You get a full story from beginning to end. It's essentially a musical as well. You have not one splash, but 3 splashes. It is Imagineering at its finest. I think Big Thunder Mountain would be a strong contender if it actually has solid kind of story or background built into it, but it doesn't. Now, however, I do think that Big Thunder Mountain is more thrilling, but I think what makes Disney so unique is not just the thrill, it's everything built around the thrill. And I think that Splash Mountain encapsulates that perfectly to a T.
Okay. I'm second on this one, and I'm going to have to agree with you. I think that Splash Mountain is almost, up to that point anyway, everything that Disney ever learned about doing a theme park shoved into one attraction. And it's amazing at it. The audio animatronics, obviously from America Sings, and the Mickey show that they had at Disney. But they do their job. The music is amazing. I love the music in that one. How do you do? Surely glad to see you. How do you do? It's pretty good. I love it. Everybody's got a laugh in place. And
Did you hear that? Did you hear that they took Zippity Doodah out of the soundtrack for
Disneyland?
Disneyland, yeah.
Yeah, I heard that. That's ignorant. That is so freaking stupid.
Why?
So freaking stupid. Do you know how many people think about what they said it was about? Nobody but the people complaining.
They said in the official press release, they said that their soundtrack is devoted to inclusivity.
Well, you know,
what in the sweet name of words I can't say because we're on the Disney Channel? Why?
It's horrendously bad. Okay, I hate the fact that they did that, but we have to decide on this: Splash Mountain or Big Thunder Mountain. Mark, you're next up. Where do you, are you going to? Well,
that's one of those. This is one of those ones where it's. I like both rides, but I like Splash Mountain so much better. I think what makes Splash Mountain special is that it's a dark ride and a thrill ride, and I think it's extremely unique. The closest thing that comes to that at the park is the Seven Dwarfs coaster, which still I don't think it's as intense as Splash Mountain is. Splash Mountain has all those little drops building you up to the laughing place with a huge drop into the Briar Patch, and in between each little drop you have a little show with animatronic dancing animals. You go through the storyline of Song of the South, and when it's all over, I swear to God this happens to me every time, is after you finish the drop and you're not as wet as you thought you'd be and you think you're out of it, the stupid log parks right beneath that waterfall, and I get completely drenched every time. Only me, never Tim, never Madison, his wife, never anybody else, only me. And I still love that ride, even though that water smell, I swear, in The Simpsons, when they're on that like fake It's a Small World ride at Duff Gardens, and Bart dares Lisa to drink the water, and she's like, I don't think that's water, and she starts tripping balls after she drinks it. I swear it's because of the Splash Mountain water. It smells terrible, it looks terrible, and you get soaked in it, and you smell like
really
that all
does.
day.
And it's kind of like a sour leather smell. All day long. It is raw sewage. I feel like I should mutate into a Ninja Turtle after I get out of that ride or something. Coming down. All righty. So while I'll tell you what, Professor, why don't you take some comments since we haven't done that in a while.
Well, Maranya said on Pirates vs. Peter Pan that she can't stand the movie franchise at all, but Pirates is a classic ride, more classic than Peter Pan. And
you don't even like the good Pirates movies, Maranya? That's odd.
You mean the good singular pirate movie? There's only one good one.
Maranya also said a bit earlier to keep in mind that she can't and doesn't do rides pretty much of any kind, but she's going with what says classic Disney to her.
Okay.
And she was very upset that I voted Barnstormer, and yet she's the goofy fangirl, and she wanted to vote for Teacups.
All righty. That makes sense. That makes sense. All righty. So I've settled them down. I can't believe the first choice. And once again, we're starting with me. Hold on. Let me go.
Wait, you didn't ask the rest of us what we.
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay, Dalton, which one would you have gone with?
I would have gone with Splash Mountain. For one thing, like I said last week, the only kind of like coaster or anything that I like tends to be a water ride, and log flumes are my favorite, so definitely that. But also, it's a longer ride. The theming is excellent. There's immersive story. I mean, where honestly can you go wrong with Splash Mountain? Is the thing. So Splash it is.
All righty. How about you, Professor?
I have to agree with what Maranya said. Splash Mountain, keep the classic ride. No messing with it.
No messing. Yes. Put Zippity-Doo-Dah back in it. Don't worry about changing it to what's her name? Thumbelina, the Princess and the Frog, whatever her name is.
Tiana.
Give her her own attraction at the end of Main Street or right at the beginning of Liberty Square, because that's more of a time period. It's not Adventureland. Let Song of the South alone. Frontier, thank you. Point being is...
You forgot to ask, there's someone you forgot to ask what they thought of Song of the South.
Oh,
you forgot to ask... you forgot to ask Tyrone. Hey, old man, Song of the South is racist, dog. Get rid of that crap, man.
Yeah.
I went there, didn't I? Yeah.
No.
That was bad. That was bad.
For shame.
Sorry, but they're the only people complaining about it.
No, actually, I hear a lot more white people complaining about it.
That's the thing. Not to get too political, but it is.
Yeah, well, we had a whole
upper middle class white brats basically feeling guilty on black people's behalf.
They're getting offended on behalf of other people. That's what I meant. A white person pretending to get offended on behalf of a black person.
That is exactly what happens. But you know what? I think that's another video that I would love to do is, and I mentioned it before, a keep it, change it, destroy it kind of thing.
I like it. I like that idea.
Keep it, fix it, destroy it, or change it. That would be it.
Destroy.
Yeah, change it, I think, would be better. Meaning, let's remove that, and here's the idea I've got for it. I think that would be much, much better. All righty, so we're going to go to this would be round 3. Now, the way I got these all lined up here, let's see, Mark, MPD, PDT, and DTE. There we go. And Tim gets to start the final. All right.
I do. I thought it was you.
Oh wait, yep, that is TEM. EM.
He forgot himself, folks.
I did this time. And then back to D. T. E. Okay, there we go. All righty, I'm just lining them up for future. All right, starting round 3. I lined them up. This is how it came about. This is in no way, shape, or form to like rides, nor are they. This is not a hard choice for me, guys, because it fell down to Walt Disney Railway versus Splash Mountain. I love the railway. I do. I will ride it every time I go if it is open. But Splash Mountain, guys, we just argued for it, and I've got to go on that one. Once again, amazing audio animatronics sound. Walt Disney Railway, though, it's a relaxation thing. It's kind of something to do in the middle of the day or at the end of the day when the feet are tired. Let's go on over to Mark. Mark, where do you stand?
Splash Mountain.
Splash Mountain. All righty. Professor.
Yeah, Splash Mountain.
Yeah,
we're just gonna push this thing along. I don't need to give a reason.
Yeah,
I'm giving enough reason.
About it. We'll wait. Okay, let's go on to the second. Do I have to ask you to? Authenticator.
Well, I would prefer if you did, but
okay, go on ahead. I mean, like, where would you have stood? The votes are in, but where would you have stood?
Splash Mountain.
Yeah.
Again, it has everything you could conceivably want in a Disney attraction. It's got the theming. It's got water rides, which are my personal favorite. It's got a longer story. It's a fairly long ride as far as rides go, which is nice. So yeah, Splash Mountain.
But I'll tell you what, this also goes back to the fact that I give myself the easy choices. Thump, where would you go on these two?
Splash Mountain.
Yeah. I can actually read Maranya saying Splash Mountain, enough said. So yeah. All righty. The next one, though, just to show that I give myself the easy choices to start off with and not you guys. Mark, you can start us off here. Hall of Presidents or Enchanted Tiki Room?
All right, that one's a lot harder than the last one. As a boring adult, I would say Hall of Presidents. Honestly, I think I do. I mean, Tiki Room has the childhood nostalgia because I remember it so vividly when I was a kid. I never saw the Gilbert Gottfried version of it. I kind of wish I did just because I like Gilbert Gottfried. I think he's funny. I can watch it on YouTube.
I didn't.
But Hall of Presidents, I mean, I do like that Hall of Presidents does update. Even if it updates to a president I don't like, it's still something that's got a little something new every time I go to see it, while 90% of it stays the same. So, yeah, Hall of Presidents.
All righty. How about, let's see, who's next? Professor, Hall of Presidents, Enchanted Tiki Room.
I'm going to have to disagree. I'm going to have to go with the Tiki Room because there's always one moment that I think of whenever I'm going to ride Carousel Progress. They have the video of Walt talking to I cannot remember the brothers' names, and it should be there. Sherman Brothers.
Not Disney's brother, the music writers, yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
All righty.
In that, I get a flashback to like where he's with one of the animatronic birds from the Tiki Room, and just that alone, the Tiki Room screams classic Disney to me even more than the Presidents. And so on just that, it has to be the Tiki Room.
All righty. Dalton. It's hard. All the Presidents. I didn't want to start this one up.
Am I going to allow the part of me that loves mystical elements to take over? Or am I going to allow the history buff part of me to take over? This is the question. I think the history buff is going to win this time. I may change my mind on a different day, but as far as the mood I am currently in, I've got to go with Hall of Presidents because there will never come a time when Hall of Presidents will not be relevant to something and will not be a historical time capsule. So, God willing, when the sun turns into a red giant and we all flee the planet on a starship, we will take the Hall of Presidents with us and keep updating it. So, as far as I'm concerned, so Hall of Presidents it is.
That brings it to you, Tim. Where do you stand?
Hall of Presidents.
Oh, closing it out.
Yeah. For me, it was no contest.
Really?
Well, both attractions, as Mark joked about, they're kind of these almost boring fossils of vintage nostalgic Disney. But one thing that people always forget is that Disney was a patriot. And the good thing about both of them is that you have the classic animatronics. So the technology is present. But I think that when you combine it with the patriotism, the fact that it's a historical time capsule, and that miraculously, even with the changing times and administration, that it's always maintained that, it's really hard to deny the fact that you leave that attraction with a sense of pride. It's very rare that we encounter people who leave that attraction with them saying, man, that thing sucked. Most people who get out of there are the people who go into there, and they have a reverence for what it is. And I think that there's a place for that. And, we were talking about with Splash Mountain how things are being deconstructed and being kind of perverted and bastardized with the times. I find it astounding that even with the current administration and the climate around it, that even that attraction is given its due diligence.
As much as they evidently wanted Hillary, because the animatronic was built based on her, not him. But that's the story, which will never not be funny. I love the Hall of Presidents, if only for that one story, because it'll never not be funny.
So Hall of Presidents goes forward. Alrighty, but I've got to say, these are two excellent attractions. And I used to work at the Enchanted Tiki Room, so I watched it.
I'm sorry.
I never wanted to watch it again, but I went back with my wife and I was like, this is a really charming show. I enjoy it again. But I would have gone Hall of Presidents as well.
Marania says she also would have gone with the Hall of Presidents, that we need to preserve some classic rides and attractions that the majority of people think when they think of Disney World. And LK says Hall of Presidents still gives him a shiver. It's so incredible.
There's a funny thing at the beginning of the current Hall of Presidents that I think is really classy. The first thing that they say that the ride is dedicated to Walt Disney. I'm pretty sure that's the only attraction in Disney World where they say that.
No, Carousel Progress.
No, as in, I don't think it's in their narration where they say this ride is dedicated to the memory of Walt Disney.
Okay. All righty. Let's move on, and we're going to go to the professor. Mad Tea Party or Buzz Lightyear Space Ranger Spin?
Buzz Lightyear again. I mean, I don't know if anybody can tell, but I don't like teacups. Honestly, they are the most basic ride. I can enjoy spinning on them every once in a while, yes. But when it comes to Disney, I just honestly do not care that they have a teacup ride. I pass it every single time, and I just look at it and I think sometimes, I really don't like you. I'm sorry, I just don't.
Meet me at Magic Kingdom. You and I'll ride on it, and I'll spin you right out of it and give you another reason. Harry Potter's flying, kids. All right. There you go. I know.
Different park.
I'm gonna ride that broom until it's dead. Okay. How about you, Dalton?
Okay. As in teacups or
Buzz Lightyear Space Ranger Spin.
Okay. Again, I've got to give it to Buzz Lightyear for the level of immersion and the technical proficiency. Because as much as I love the teacups, and I do, I love the teacups. I'm absolutely mad for the teacups. I've always wanted a more complex, more immersive Alice in Wonderland attraction. Like my thinking was like an underground sort of tunnel thing that takes you through Wonderland would be my ideal Alice in Wonderland attraction. So as much as I love the teacups, and as much as they are historic, and as much as they are impactful of every other version of the teacups out there, yeah, I'm gonna have to go with Buzz Lightyear on this one. To infinity and beyond.
Alrighty, okay. How about you, Tim? Where do you stand?
I'll go with Buzz Lightyear. I don't have a robust argument. I'll just say that Buzz Lightyear is basically like Teacups 2.0. It's basically a spinning ride with guns.
Alrighty.
That's it.
Okay, this is a hard one. This is a hard one because basically the Mad Tea Party can be found almost anywhere in a different form. Even Storm Force at Universal, you can find this. There's a teacup ride somewhere. That being said, less of a line. It does what it needs to. I always feel like as much as I enjoy Buzz Lightyear, sometimes I'm wondering, am I hitting anything? There are a few targets, like the ones up close. Okay, I can tell I'm hitting. But beyond that, it's not as good as Men in Black, where there's my light. I think I would have gone Mad Tea Party on this one. How about you, Mark?
I mean, I'm not passionate about either ride. I mean, in fact, I don't even think we do either of those like every year that we go. But I mean, Buzz Lightyear, it's more fun. There's more stuff to do. It's a longer ride. It's more visually interesting. I mean, I like the teacups enough. I like Buzz Lightyear enough. So I guess Buzz Lightyear.
You know what I really like about Alice in Wonderland's Mad Tea Party? That topiary in front of it. I am always marveled at the topiary and the Tea Party set. I just think that is very creative. I always like that. Okay,
hey,
so
wait. Time out. Before we continue, brief intermission because I want to ask Englentine a question. You forgot 2 attractions, and I want to know which one you like better. You ready? Englentine, are you ready?
What?
Okay. The bathroom at Gaston's Tavern or the Rapunzel bathroom?
Okay. Let me speak on the bathroom thing here.
According to Disney Food Blog, that's a big deal.
Let me speak on this because, of course, I've never really counted as big a guy and old a guy I am. I never actually consider the bathrooms attractions, although I've spent time in many Disney bathroom. I will say this. I thought it was brilliant that Little Mermaid gets this gorgeous dark ride that takes you through the movie, and Belle not only gets her story time, but then you go right over to the castle and you have a dinner in a beautiful. Rapunzel gets a shitter. That is what they did for Rapunzel. So just based on that alone, I'm going to give it to that one. I prefer that mainly because they went nuts on Rapunzel's crap house. They really did. And I want to coin and hashtag the phrase Rapunzel's crap house. I will take a picture. I will pass it around. Let's get that trending. Yeah, I think the Rapunzel crap house is just absolutely fantastic. Plus, it does have a search for Pascal. He's somewhere near the crap house game.
You mean
Well, it also
Pascal? Hey, yeah.
It also has a bunch of charging stations. So,
oh yeah. You can
well, let's be honest. The best theme park bathroom in Orlando is the one in the Wizarding World because that actually makes sense in the context of the movie with Moaning Myrtle.
Moaning Myrtle.
You mean
yeah,
Wizarding World?
Hey, you're trying to take a leap in there. Oh, look at the size of your penis. I don't mean to make you sound bad, but
Disney Channel.
I know. Okay, but do you think any child has made it in an hour into this? Okay.
Marania said that she would have chosen Mad Tea Party. LK said as an adult, the Buzz Lightyear shooter in Tomorrowland is just more exciting and fun. And Marania said Buzz Lightyear's Pixar, not classic Disney magic. I would have said that basically it's the only Pixar ride. Oh wait, no, Monsters Inc. It's the only good Pixar ride.
There you go.
There,
Magic Kingdom. Yeah. All righty. But Buzz Lightyear went forward, which leads us to the last one. We're starting off with Dalton. It's an easy decision to make. Haunted Mansion or Pirates of the Caribbean?
You absolute
We're losing a big dog now, man. We're
buckling son of a.
This is easy. Come on, do it, Dalton. Do it.
I don't know. It's not as easy as some things. I mean,
It's really not. You're basically making me pick between my two favorite rides here, and you are a so-and-so for it. But that's neither here nor there.
And for many other reasons.
If I had to, I'd go with Haunted Mansion, just because I was always the weird kid who liked all the dark supernatural stuff, and Haunted Mansion is basically everything that I ever wanted it to be and more. So Haunted Mansion it is.
Alrighty. Tim.
Haunted Mansion. There's just no question for this one. It is from an imaginary standpoint. Kind of, it's up there as a pinnacle of how you do a theme park ride with everything going for it. There's a few rides in Disney World and in property that do this. I mentioned last week the Tower of Terror, how they basically constructed a fake hotel to go with the theming of the ride. And the Haunted Mansion, it looks like a mansion. When I was a kid sitting outside that ride, I thought to myself, like, holy cow, like there's a house and it's scary looking and you go in it. Pirates of the Caribbean doesn't really have that if you think about it. You're outside, you don't know if you're entering a ride or like a really big bathroom. And then you go inside and it's kind of themed to a fort, with a jail and stuff like that. But just from start to finish, from the queue line through the ride, everything is masterfully and meticulously crafted to enhance that experience. You already start getting the heebie-jeebies from the very moment you step into that queue, and when you pass that sign saying wait time 13 minutes, wait time 40 minutes, whatever it might be, there's just no contest in my opinion.
Okay.
Also, I want to say on the behalf of everyone who's ever liked Victorian architecture, I want to live in a mansion like the Haunted Mansion someday. God damn it.
Well, remind me, I have another question once we're done with the voting to ask everyone, but we'll go ahead.
Okay. I'm almost so... obviously, because I'm the third person on this one, and you guys know where I'm going to go, because you know how much I freaking hate the changes. I absolutely hate the changes. The freaking selling of the redhead, that's evil. Pirates are bad guys. Are you telling me, according to the freaking ride, they're okay with burning down the freaking village, but they draw the line at stealing chickens?
Whoa, that's hey, Antifa agrees with all that.
I know. Hey, we're burned down. Do you want to buy my chicken? Yes. Okay, there you go. Thank you. You just backed me up on that. They made the Pirates of the Caribbean Antifa of the Caribbean. Okay, that's what they did to it.
Okay, that might be fighting words just a little bit there. Wow.
Based on that, I'm actually going to give up my turn. I'm going to move it to Mark. Mark, how do you feel about this one?
Haunted Mansion. I mean, it's two very similar rides, but I think Haunted Mansion's just. I gushed about it last time, so I'd just be repeating myself. But I like that it has a storyline, but it's a very subtle one. You almost have to ride it a bunch of times to take it all in. But the storyline starts when you're in the queue. You learn about the 999 haunts, and you get in. And even before the queue is over, technically the elevator, the stretching room, is part of the queue line. So you get in that stretching room and you kind of get a pre-show before you get in that last part of the queue to actually get on the doom buggies, and then you get to go through the ride. And the best time at Disney World is when the ride stops while you're in Haunted Mansion. It doesn't matter where you're in Haunted Mansion because there's so much stuff to see, so many little details that I love it when some little kid throws a tantrum at the exit thing and they have to stop the ride. And so you get to sit there for like an extra 5 minutes and look at all those ex atencio paintings that are on the wall in the hallway, or you get stuck in the the Jamboree at the end, but yeah, for the Midnight Jamboree in the graveyard, and you get to actually look at all those different animatronics. Like, oh, there's a mummy there. I never noticed the mummy back there, and stuff like that. It's great. So no, it's far and away my favorite.
All righty.
I'm so glad that we killed pirates finally. God, I have been waiting. I have been waiting and wanted it dead since round freaking one.
I think I'll tell you what, we're about to move into round 4, and I think, in all honesty, you could probably skip this one, but we're gonna do it. We're gonna do it.
I had a question.
Oh, go ahead.
So I can't wait. So to Pirates of the Caribbean's benefit, though, when they replaced the auction scene with the redhead, at least they made her hot. So just wait. I don't want to say anything because they're going to replace her with a black woman in 2 years. You know they will.
Really? Because she's redhead.
Oh God!
You'll get the redhead. So, but what my question was, something that Dalton brought up. Even if you haven't been on it, which do you like better? Do you like the architecture of the Haunted Mansion in Disneyland or the one in Disney World?
Okay, I've never actually been to Disneyland.
You don't have to. You can see how it looks like from the outside.
Patreon down below. Help me get to Disneyland. All right. In all honesty, I've got it's kind of hard to say. For me, I've lived with the architecture that's at Disneyland. That's around here. I see it. We live near swamps. We've got that all over the place. I kind of like what's going on in the Haunted Mansion at Walt Disney World a little bit better because I don't see houses like that everywhere. That seems to be more northern than it is southern. Wow.
I agree with you because I've been to Disneyland, and the problem with their Haunted Mansion there is that the plantation style is not creepy. It's almost too clean. Whereas when you see the one in Disney World, you're like, that is a scary house.
A lot of even the plantation houses that are still up and erected, they've become museums or restaurants. So I mean, there's one that I've been up to. It's in Tallahassee that has become a hotel and with a springs. It's right by where they filmed the Creature of the Black Lagoon. So it became a bit of a tourist trap. So to me, what they show at the Disneyland has been so watered down, and plus, like I said, I see it all over the place. So it's not really anything big to me.
Let me hit some comments before we move on. Well, this one sparked a lot of conversation. LK said that he has to choose Haunted Mansion since they ruined Pirates of the Caribbean with combo PC-ness and incorporating the movie stuff into it. Plus, he likes it when they do the Nightmare Before Christmas theme for Halloween, but that's only at Disneyland, not Disney World.
See, there is one thing about the pirate changes that I will defend, and that is adding the movie stuff, because that makes sense to me.
I'm going to say that too, but Maranya said that she liked the Haunted Mansion movie, and she hates the Pirates movie. And she can't honestly decide between the two rides. But if she had to go by the movies, then Haunted Mansion wins, hands down.
How? Okay. You're right in terms of your conclusion, but you're wrong in terms of your criteria for your conclusion. How, in the name of the 999 Happy Haunts, Maranya, do you honestly want to tell me that the Haunted Mansion movie is better than The Curse of the Black Pearl, or Dead Man's Chest, or At World's End, or even On Stranger Tides, for that matter? I will even go that far.
Man. Haunted Mansion is a fun time. It's not a scary movie, but it's fun.
I like it.
That movie is crap.
It's so cringy. I can't even They could have done they basically could have done another Something Wicked This Way Comes with an actual Haunted Mansion movie. If they had done it in the style of the Pirates movies and made it more serious and action oriented, that movie would have been so awesome. But instead, they just went with the most cliche, cringy, non-mystical, non-interesting plot they possibly could have.
If they're going to make it a horror comedy, then the comedy has to be funny, and it wasn't.
And what's more, if they wanted to do a horror comedy, it could have been Disney's Evil Dead. if they really wanted to do a horror comedy, it could have been Disney's Evil Dead. And I refuse to believe in a world where it was Disney's Evil Dead that we would genuinely be preferring the one we have.
My only comment on this entire debate here is that you guys haven't realized you are doing 2 videos worth of conversation here. Just watching and talking about the Haunted Mansion alone, movie and thing, that in itself, I think during the month of October, we should do some should do a watch party. Disney horror and Disney horror comedy talking. Haunted Mansion is definitely a debate, maybe even a watch party. Even if
also Nightmare Before Christmas while we're at it.
Say again, Dalton.
Also, Nightmare Before Christmas and Hocus Pocus while we're at it.
Hocus Pocus, man, you 90s kids love that Hocus Pocus.
Let me finish these out. So that way we can move along. LK said that he doesn't go to the Blue Bayou for the Monte Cristo anymore. You can go to the Orleans Cafe across the way, and he was saying preach whenever you were destroying pirates. Tree Rock Creation says that they never liked either of the movies, but they loved the original rides, and LK liked the movies. Robert Roberts says that we are incorrect, England team, that Pirates of the Caribbean is and has been and always will be the best ride.
Okay, and that's why we do this, because you know what, it does spark a conversation. Yeah, he's reading off the comments today, guys, because I burst my my screen, so it's got a black line right down where the comments are. Thankfully, I'll be able to replace it before the auction tomorrow. So let's move on. And this is how they landed. Splash Mountain versus Hall of Presidents. Tim, go.
Oh my gosh. I will go with Splash Mountain. I really, really, really love the Hall of Presidents, but Walt Disney's original vision was he wanted to entertain. And while I enjoy the Hall of Presidents as a time capsule and I revere it and respect it a lot, Walt, I think, would have wanted something that really, really caught everything together and put it into one thing. So I'm going to go with Splash Mountain.
All righty. That is, you got something there. I was looking at these going, okay, now I can't say this is the better ride. This is because both one's a show, one's a ride. Both of them give you a great amount of time in the air conditioning. So as far as that's concerned, both of them are longer attractions. I am a huge fan of Americana, which both of them kind of touch upon. But I'm also a fan of American history, which goes to Hall of Presidents. That being said, once again, Splash Mountain as a ride does everything that Disney had done up to that point and even beyond that point. I thought this would be an easier decision putting them together because Hall of Presidents or Splash Mountain. What I guess I got to bring it down to is which one am I running to? And in all honesty, that would be Splash Mountain. Like, if I couldn't do Splash Mountain, I would feel a little bit more disappointed than if I couldn't do Hall of Presidents. That being said, if I couldn't do the Muppet Show outside of Hall of Presidents, I might break down and cry and go, why did you guys do this to me? And then get thrown out because they don't want to see a grown man crying. I'm not saying it happened. I'm just saying I'm glad there's no video. All righty. How about you, Mark? Where do you stand?
Splash Mountain. I mean, I like them both, but Splash Mountain's a ride, so that's going to kind of win every time. And honestly, I like Hall of Presidents, but if I want Americana in absence of Hall of Presidents, I can do the American Adventure at Epcot, which that one does kind of swell me a bit more with patriotism. It's because of that song.
Spread your golden
wings. It gets me every time. So yeah, Splash Mountain, and I'm going to enjoy Splash Mountain while I can, because after this year, it's going to be gone forever. So represent.
No, it's going to take longer. There's no way they're going to be changed. They just lost a ton of money. It's not changing anytime soon. What I'm hoping will happen is it'll take so long that the SJWs will have a new hill to die on, a new mountain to die on, and we'll actually just die.
We can only hope. We can only hope.
Where would you have stood there, Professor?
I would have gone Splash Mountain.
How about you? Go on ahead, finish your thought, Prof.
I'm just saying, in comparison, the basis that it is indeed a ride, but not only that, it is the only water ride in the park. So that gives it a boost. It's something unique out of all of the rides there. So.
Okay. Alrighty. And you, Dalton?
I also am going to go with Splash Mountain because here's the thing. As much as I might love Hall of Presidents, and I do, every reason I have for loving Hall of Presidents is hyper intellectual and all about like the significance and all about like the technical aspects and everything. But with Splash Mountain, like I said the last 2 times we covered this, it's got everything you could imagine in a ride, and I just like it's the perfect ride, and it's a water ride, which is my favorite kind of thrill ride. So Splash Mountain it is.
Okay, one thing to be said, because I can actually see enough of this comment, when Gail gets here, Maranya, I will have her back me up that I have, in fact, run towards rides before.
Oh, that last second when the park is closing and you want to get one more ride in there, yeah, you're absolutely running. You cannot help it.
But she'll say I walk too fast anywhere. Alrighty, I'm not doing this again, by the way. I am not doing this. I've always given myself the easy one, so I'm going to skip me. Mark, let's start with you on this one. And Buzz Lightyear or Haunted Mansion?
Haunted Mansion.
Oh
man, come on.
All right.
I mean, yeah,
wait, hold on. Guys, let's do this all at once. 1, 2, 3.
Haunted Mansion.
Okay, yeah. I looked at that like, wow, that's not.
I mean, every time I go to the park, I go with my family, so we usually hit Buzz Lightyear first and save Haunted Mansion towards the last. But I have to admit, between the two, Haunted Mansion, absolutely.
Yeah, there's three types of people I notice that go to Magic Kingdom: those who start in Adventureland, those who start in Tomorrowland, and the weird ones. Seriously, who goes to Fantasyland and or Liberty Square first? It's always you start at one, you do the loop, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, I noticed POTUS and Marker being really quiet. Are you guys?
We do kind of. So we have a weird system. We hop all the time.
I don't doubt that with you, man.
Yeah, you've seen how we do it. It's a system. I mean, the way we do it is we look at our fast passes and we'll either do Peter Pan first or Space Mountain first, depending on the timing. And then we have it structured so that our other 2 fast passes are during the day, and we do it based on the wait time. And we just basically go to what the highest capacity attraction is with the longest wait that happens to be shortest at the time. So if we have to sprint from Space Mountain all the way to Splash Mountain, we'll do it.
Wow. See, you guys, went that one time at Hollywood Studios. You guys are so different than me but I think part of this is that I have the luxury.
So going whenever you want.
Yeah, whatever I don't do today, I could literally do tomorrow. So when I go to a theme park, I'm really chill. It's like, yeah, okay, we'll get there tomorrow. I don't care.
Where they only get the once in a year or every couple of years that the rest of us get.
Tim literally grabbed onto his wife on their anniversary and said, "This isn't a vacation, it's war! Go, woman!" And
it's true.
To see, but she was motivated.
I just want to say for the record that because Tim is such a calm, rational person, imagining him that hyper and that angry is even more hilarious than it otherwise would be.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, so I'll tell you this quick story. So Mark has been going with us every year for almost a decade, and we used to go for New Year's Eve, and that was murder to plan because I mean I would have to sit there three months before we went, and I would be having to imagine December 31st, like everything. And Mark knows we did it like 3 or 4 years in a row where I would plan it, like wake up at 4 o'clock, make it the transportation ticket center at this time, you know, make sure that we can get there before capacity. And he's seen me mad when it didn't go to plan. When like I remember the last time we went there where I said, I'm just not doing this anymore. We had to camp in front of the castle at around 6:30 in the evening. And they forced us out of our spot. And I just told Mark and Madison, I just said, jump the line. Like, we're not going all the way back. Like, we waited too long for this. So, I mean, I don't know. At some point, my logic and stuff.
That was like we're usually the ideal guests when it comes to these places. We don't like to be mean to cast members. We know they're just doing their job. We always cooperate and we're always friendly and polite. But when they let us wait there and camp out for 6 hours and then right before said, sorry, you got to move. We got to rope this off. We were just like, nah, man, we're not budging. We jumped over the rope and we went right back.
That is the line. I totally can understand, because I'm the exact same way when I plan stuff. I plan it out to the last detail, and it usually gives me anxiety for like 2 or 3 days before I do anything like that.
And I'll tell you something else. What I hate about it, and you know, Madison has seen me do this before. The only time I ever lose my cool is when my plan doesn't go because of an outside force I have no control over. When somebody meddles, it's like,
yes,
and I'll give you a
plan. We are not deviating from the plan. Don't meddle.
I'll give you a perfect example. So I think Eglantine was there when this happened. So Doug Ernst was with us, and Doug Ernst, he's very, very reserved. Like, it's very hard to get emotions out of him. So I said, hey, we're going to go in Star Tours, and Star Tours has a randomized sequence. So you're going to get any combination, and right now there's at least 70 combinations. And I said, now the worst combination you can get, in my opinion, is Tatooine and Naboo. And I said, but don't worry, because that's only happened to us once. So we go on it. We get Tatooine and Naboo. But I said, don't worry, because we have a second fast pass. We're going to do it again. 2 hours later, we went on. We got the same sequence. And Doug, after we got off that ride, Doug looked at me, and I was like, I swear it's a different ride every time. And he just said, sure it is.
Here's the thing.
I think
I went with him on the second time. I had only been on it once before, 10 years ago. At this point, it would be like, what, 12? And it turned out it was exactly the same one I got 10 years ago.
No way.
I hate it when that happens.
And
Absolutely.
I hate it too, because the first time Mark and I were there during the opening weekend of Star Tours 2, and that was awesome. And we wrote it, I don't know, 4 or 5 times, and each time we got like the best combinations. And at the end, I was like, hey, Mark, the best thing to do would be if we got like I forgot what the first one was, but I said that'd be great if we got the Death Star at the very end with the Boba Fett ending, and we got it.
Yeah.
And I was just like, holy cow, this is the best ride ever. But that time we went to Doug, no.
I couldn't do that because it makes me sick. It would be like, oh, here's the spy, and he's throwing up on his part. I only have one ride in me as far as that's concerned. So Morania is saying that choice was a sucker. So we've got another one, and we're going to start with you, Professor, on this one. And this is the final round. This is where it all comes down. This is the big decision. Professor, Splash Mountain or Haunted Mansion?
Oh.
This one's tough.
Oh no. Okay. All right. I do cherish both these rides and never want them to go anywhere. But remember how I said last round that Splash Mountain is a water ride and it's unique because of that and it's special. I do not like a lot of water rides. So, given that, I'm going to have to choose the Haunted Mansion.
All righty. One Haunted Mansion vote. Mark, where would you go on this one?
Oh, I mean, Haunted Mansion. One's a thrill ride / dark ride. One's just a dark ride, but Haunted Mansion does dark ride the best. There's no one that does it better. One of the things I haven't mentioned that I love about Haunted Mansion is that once you get inside, it does such a good job of making you forget that you're in Florida in the blazing sun and the blazing heat in the middle of the day. You feel like you're inside a house in the middle of the night during a rainstorm. All the atmospheric effects they do are so convincing that it absolutely does draw you into the story and the atmosphere of that narrative and of that ride. And for about 10 minutes, you just completely forget that you're in Florida in the middle of the day, and you're right there in that world and in that story. It's perfect. So,
well, I've got to be the voice of dissension here. I've got to go with Splash Mountain once again. I think everything that was learned off of stuff, even like Haunted Mansion, which I think is incredible, is in Splash Mountain. I think it's absolutely a joyous ride to be on. That's one that I get off. I'm not quoting Haunted Mansion. I mean, occasionally somebody might bring it up, but I am singing along to those songs, and they'll get stopped. I mean, even now in my head, "How do you do" is going through, and I just love it. I enjoy that bit at the end. I enjoy the drop a little bit better now, because the old boats would actually go front heavy when they went in, which would cause water to spill over into your shoes. But I wear flip-flops so much that now it wouldn't matter. But this is an incredible attraction. The only thing I don't like about it these days is that they no longer have that hidden Mickey off to the right-hand side when you would go around in, the Zippity Doodah boat. Other than that, incredible attraction. So I'm going to be the voice of dissension on that one. I'm going to send it to Tim.
Splash Mountain is my favorite ride in the park in the most unironic way possible. I mean, I like the boring ones like Carousel of Progress and Hall of Presidents. So Splash Mountain is my absolute favorite ride. This is actually a contest between Mark and I, because it's my favorite ride versus his. I am actually going to give it to him, and I'm going to say Haunted Mansion for this one.
What?
Yes, and the reason why is
don't sacrifice your principles on my account.
No, it's
stand up for yourself. Let Dalton get the vote.
No, it's not a sacrifice of principles. I think this is one of those win by a nose type thing. And one thing that we hadn't pointed out so far, well, you kind of did, Englantine, the music. Both rides have great music. You have Zippity Doodah, you have How Do You Do, but to compete with it, you do have like Grim Grinning Ghosts in the attraction as well. And it's hard to, between the two, they have so many elements that are very much aligned with each other. But I think that Haunted Mansion definitely has weathered the test of time in terms of its universal appeal. Yes, we got a movie out of it, a shitty movie. Sorry, a crappy movie. Pardon my language. We did get it. Most people, even who haven't been on the Haunted Mansion, know about it. Not many people know about Splash Mountain, and a lot of that has to do with the fact that Song of the South has been so suppressed in terms of our popular culture.
So this is the only place you're going to get anything of it.
I agree. I agree. But in the same vein, I think that Haunted Mansion, in a way, is kind of the same thing. The movie did not do well, but the ride itself still has thematic legs to stand on. And I do think that it is objectively, even though it's less thrilling, I do think it is thematically the superior ride.
Okay, so Dalton, where would you have flown on this one?
Like I always say, I'm a sucker for a supernatural element, and I was a weird kid, and I was an antique collecting kid, and in all three of those boxes, every fiber of my being demands Haunted Mansion. So much so that if I ever win the lottery, I am building a house that is identical to the Haunted Mansion house. I don't care.
If I won the Powerball, okay, yeah, let's build the Haunted Mansion, and the only way you can get around it is getting into a Doom buggy.
No, I'm not gonna build a facsimile for the ride. I'm gonna build a house that's like the house from Haunted Mansion, because I want to live in a grand old weird-looking Victorian house. And with the supernatural element thrown in and the Disney iconography thrown in, how can I not, as the weird, supernaturally inclined, anti-collecting kid that I always have been, go with Haunted Mansion? So here's one for the weird kids, ladies and gentlemen.
So there you go. The brackets, we broke it down. Haunted Mansion came out on top. Is there anything that got eliminated. Obviously, I would have picked Splash Mountain. That got eliminated before it even had a chance to go up behind anything about that could have stood up against Haunted Mansion.
I personally, my second favorite is Space Mountain, and that one got taken out in the first bracket to my surprise. Yep. So that would have been my my second choice if Haunted Mansion had somehow gotten knocked out.
Mark, if it was a more comfortable roller coaster, maybe yeah. That's the whole problem.
I just wish Carousel Progress lasted longer. It deserved.
But no, this was pretty cool. I had a good time talking about.
I will say this though, Eglinton. What would be neat is if we had a theme park battle royale, where we mix like the last 5 contenders from each of the parks and duke them out. Because the one that Mark and I talk about a lot in very friendly way, it's Haunted Mansion versus the Tower of Terror.
You know what? I like that idea. But that is assuming, of course, Tower of Terror wins that particular round.
Yeah,
correct. Well, that's why I said top 5.
Yeah, what we need to do is put all the finalists against each other, and then decide what is definitively the best Disney attraction after we've done all 4.
But I get what you're saying. He's saying like you take the top 5 from that survived in Magic Kingdom, then the top 5 from Animal Kingdom, top 5 from, and you put them together, and then we do them down. But I hope you guys had a good time doing this. This is a lot of fun. I love this because we literally talked about every ride and or show attraction at Magic Kingdom.
And even the bathrooms.
Even the bathrooms, yes. Absolutely. Tower of Terror doesn't exist anymore. It does over here.
For now.
They still got it.
It still does here for a little bit anyway.
And I thought to myself that ride won't go away in Disney World simply because it's already a classic. I mean, for God's sakes, the whole landmark of Hollywood Studios was themed around the Tower of Terror at this point. But the fact that we're already losing the theme of Splash Mountain means nothing is sacred anymore.
Well, I don't think Tower of Terror is going to be taken from here because over in Epcot they replaced Ellen's Universe of Energy for Guardians of the Galaxy, and so they're not going to do a Guardians of the Galaxy ride at Tower of Terror here. So
the only thing I would say is thank goodness, because that was at Epcot. The Ellen DeGeneres was where I went to have a nap.
You're not wrong.
It was bad. I mean, so I missed out on the original version of the Energy ride, and all I know is the Ellen DeGeneres plays against Jamie Lee Curtis with Alex Trebek on Jeopardy and Bill Nye the Science Guy. It was just a cringy mess. I was like, oh, can we just get to the dinosaurs? Then we get to the dinosaurs, and there's a robot Ellen fighting a dinosaur. I'm like, oh, can we just leave, please? This is terrible.
It was horrible.
Yeah, it's basically how do you do fellow kids at the ride. It's on par with like Hillary Clinton going, we need to get people to Pokemon Go to the polls, but in ride form.
Oh. What do kids like these days? Jeopardy? Okay, we'll use Jeopardy.
Yeah, it was not good. It really wasn't. I remember Epcot from the World of Motion and Horizons days. And I kind of like that. I mean, now me and Gail go a lot, but admittedly, we go for the festivals more than anything else. We might do another bracket for each park as we go, but I would like to break it up with some other topics if y'all don't mind. Sure. Maybe counting down best boat ride or things like that as we go along. If you don't,
we need to do brackets for the movies at some point too.
How would you guys feel about that?
What, Disney movies?
Yeah, I was talking to Dalton about you know about the eras of Disney, right?
Yeah. So if you do like the Disney classics canon, their animated canon, you could break it up into like the golden era and the xerography era, and then like the Renaissance, and then the
they call that the Dark Ages, right? The Dark Age of Disney is that.
Oh yeah, the Dark. So the 70s and the 80s, where it was actually a lot of their more innovative stuff was coming out at that time.
I agree. I think though a lot of people, especially since a lot of people my age were kids when it was the dark period for Disney. We grew up with those movies, and so they're getting a new respect because not only are we older and we remember and love stuff like Robin Hood and such like that, the Aristocats. But our children were taught to love them, you know, because we showed them to them. So I think they're getting a better following. And I mean, ultimately, no matter what Dalton says, Black Cauldron sucked. But still, I think
I like Black Cauldron. Leave it alone.
Yeah,
Black Cauldron, I know we can save this for a larger conversation, but my attitude towards Black Cauldron is that it was a swing and a miss. Like I respect that they really went for that, but they still missed. They still missed.
Yeah. It could have definitely been better, but even just looking at it for what it is, I like Black Cauldron. Leave me alone.
I mean, I feel about Black Cauldron the same way I feel about like Treasure Planet and Atlantis. I appreciate the
potential. Why?
Exactly.
Why?
I mean, I appreciate that they were trying to do like a different genre with their animated films. And Black Cauldron, they were going for a dark fantasy, and Treasure Planet and Atlantis, they were going for an adventure film, an action film. But in a world that made sense, Treasure Planet and Atlantis: The Lost Empire would have made all the money. But they came out like the era of Titan AE and stuff. It wasn't.
Yeah, I know, but still, Atlantis and Treasure Planet are amazing, and I love them both. So again, I'm gonna have to be the odd man out and say, in a world that made sense, it would have made all the money.
I mean, Black Cauldron is cool, except it has those. It's almost like Disney is getting in the way of the Black Cauldron being good because they have characters like Gurgi in that damn movie, where he's like, Gurgi wants crunches and munches. Gurgi wants to be annoying. Gurgi is cute and obnoxious.
I know, but that's the thing about Black Cauldron is it's basically only about half the movie they intended on making. There's so much that got cut out of Black Cauldron. I honestly hope that somebody eventually makes like a Black Cauldron uncensored version, because it would be. Yeah, I can guarantee that it would be awesome.
I mean, if they could do what they did to Richard Williams' Thief and the Cobbler, where they did that recobbled cut, where they basically took all the storyboards and animatics and background paintings and reconstituted the film to what Richard Williams intended. That would be nice, but Disney, is never going to let that. That's all the original Black Cauldron content is in their vault, and no one's ever going to see it again.
Yeah, it's a shame.
I've got to dig in here. I know somewhere in this filled closet I have the Song of the South DVD.
Oh, I have it on my. I think that I gave you guys the link. I have it on my desktop. I have the ripped file.
Oh, and I was gonna replace this with some. I was gonna make sure that the poster behind me always reflected something. I've got this right here I was going to put up, even though it's not a Disney movie. This is the poster for Prince of Egypt, which I always loved.
Oh, that's a great
Prince of Egypt was pretty good, even though I could do without the religious content, but whatever.
It's the story of Moses and Pharaoh.
Well, no, I know, but like that's the thing. Like, it's a really great movie about stuff that I kind of actively disdain. Is the thing. So there's
too much religion in that religious story over there.
What I like about that movie, though, is that you can see it that way, but it feels, if you don't care about Judaism and Old Testament stuff, it still comes across as a good fantasy film.
That's the good thing about it. That's what I mean. I wish that somebody had put the same level of effort and intrigue that they put into Prince of Egypt into another subject matter.
I wish Raiders of the Lost Ark really lost the whole like Ark of the Covenant thing. Really
too much religious talk in that one. Yeah.
Well, but the thing is, that's a false equivalency, because with Prince of Egypt, they beat you over the head with the religious aspect. In Raiders, it's just the MacGuffin.
It was a joke.
The joke was fundamentally based on a broken premise, though, so I had to correct it.
Okay, and on that note, I can't even imagine what's in that closet right now, or who. Sad thing. Anyway, guys, there you go. I'll come up with a topic. Maybe we will do a bracket for the golden years. Let's we'll figure out what's the best,
Well,
or we'll
the
line them up.
The golden years will be weird because you're gonna have all those package films like Fun and Fancy Free and Make Mine Music, and those are
War Era.
Say what?
War Era.
Okay, so you're separating that from the golden era. So there's the golden era that has like Snow White and Dumbo and Fantasia. Then there's the package era, the war era. But then there's the second golden era, which has Peter Pan and Sleeping Beauty and Alice in Wonderland in it. Is that how you're breaking them up?
Yep, and then it goes to the Dark Age and then so forth. Yeah. I'll try to make it so it's 10. So even if we wanted to make our top 10, and then we'll just do this, I'll do the scoring and figure out where we have and all that kind of stuff.
Okay.
We are 5 grown-ass men. I didn't say that because it's the Disney Channel. We should be doing the princess movies first.
Oh, boy.
Oh, that's right. We have not sent these two through the quiz.
Oh, I didn't think about that.
The Disney princess canon doesn't make any sense, though, because they don't consider Princess Elenwee from The Black Cauldron to be a Disney princess, even though she's a princess, but they consider Mulan to be a princess,
even though she married a god, or rather the son of a god.
Yeah, but Mulan's a princess in the Disney princess canon, even though she's not a princess in her movie.
But if you notice, what you need for to become a Disney princess is you need to have made $150 million.
It's all about status.
Yeah. Made a lot of money.
Yeah. Anyway, we need to put these guys through the initiation. One of us. Yeah, all
of us have been through it. So let's start with Mark.
Okay.
Okay, you guys can see.
Be homo.
Yes, absolutely.
Homo.
Okay, so Mark, your favorite weekend activity is curling up with a book, exploring a farmer's market, cooking, putting your feet up, hanging around with friends, alone time, a walk in the woods, or anything outside.
Well, I could say alone time, but this is the Disney Channel, so what I mean by alone time, I can't really elaborate on.
Can we get alone time and hanging with friends and combine them? Because I want
to say alone time and combine it with Disney princesses, but then I'll really get you in trouble.
Right.
We'll go with cooking. I like cooking. There we go. Okay.
The animal who will lead your inevitable royal parade is a raccoon, a fish, a tiger, or a dragon.
There's 4 more options.
Oh, let me scroll down. A horse, an owl, an alligator, or a chameleon.
I mean, a horse, because it's probably going to be pulling my hearse. So there we go.
Alrighty. The most important quality you look for in a prince is charm, kindness, dreaminess, humor, honor, personality, smolder, or I don't need a prince.
Gender flip it if it's necessary. Just throwing that out there.
If what's necessary?
If you need to.
Oh, okay. So I can change it to a princess then if I want to?
Yeah, if you feel the need.
If I feel the need to change, okay, I feel the need. Mark is fine, yeah. No, my ideal princess, I guess the smolder.
Which of these outfit elements are you more likely to wear? Sweats,
and again,
dress,
gender flip it if it's
heels,
needed.
Glass slipper, headband, necklace, skirt, or a veil?
I'm going to go with headband because the 80s never ended for me.
Damn straight. My favorite place to burst into a song is a forest, a field of flowers, the beach. In your room while doing chores under a willow tree, I don't sing, or on the something or other I can't see because my screen's broken.
I'm going to go with absolutely never. And you better pray that I never sing either.
Your favorite hairstyle is a bob, a high ponytail, long, really long, bangs, sleek and straight, half up, half down, top knot, or
practical.
Practical, okay.
I mean, I keep my hair combed back, so I guess that counts as sleek and straight, then yeah. But I did have a ponytail when I was in college.
Someday, Mark, you want to be a baker, a business owner, a fashion designer, a zoologist, a singer, a writer, an athlete, or something that begins with C.
CEO.
I'm a writer. That's what I'm already working on.
All righty. One day you'll make it. In one word, your style is fun, classic, timeless, retro, bohemian, vintage, functional, or
colorful.
colorful. Okay, I'm glad you said that because I was just going to end it with an ED. So,
functional.
Functional.
T-shirt and jeans, you know.
You live in a castle, cottage, small town, big city, apartment, tower, treehouse, or mansion.
Apartment. How many more of these are there?
2 more. It's
Okay.
4 p.m. That means it's time to hit the gym, take a stroll, have tea, work on your chess game, see what your friends are up to, have a snack, take a nap, or do your chores.
Take a nap.
All righty. And your favorite color, green, blue, yellow, orange, or red?
Yeah, blue.
That, for some reason, I have a feeling that's the only question that matters. But here you go. You are Belle.
You're Dalton. You're
Oh,
so
Dalton.
Yes, I was.
I'm
I was
stuck up
also
and I
Bell
think
when
I'm
we did
better than
this.
everybody else. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's me.
You may not always fit in, but your compassionate heart and dreams of adventure will take you far. And yes, that teacup is talking to you. Or as you said, you look at people just trying to work and live their lives and go, provincial bastards.
All right. One more time.
He wants much more than this provincial life.
I'll just watch make Belle my wife. I don't know that song. Sorry. I'm going to make Belle my wife. All right.
Yeah, no.
Which one did I get, Dalton? I forget.
Didn't you get Snow White?
Snow White. That's right. All righty, Tim. Your favorite weekend activity?
I wasn't paying attention to the list.
Curling up with a book, exploring a farmer's market, cooking, putting your feet up, anything outside, a walk in the woods, alone time, or hanging with friends.
Walking outside.
Anything outside. The animal who'll lead your parade, a raccoon, a horse, an owl, an alligator, a fish, a tiger, a dragon, or a chameleon.
A raccoon.
Raccoon. A karma chameleon, that is. The most important quality you look for in a prince, charm.
Princess.
Say again.
Princess.
Princess.
Yes, gender flip it where necessary.
Okay, what you look for in a princess is charm, kindness, dreaminess, humor, honor, personality, smolder, or you don't need no princess.
Humor.
Alrighty. Which of these outfit elements are you more likely to wear? Sweats, a dress, heels, glass slipper, headband, necklace, skirt, or a veil?
I'll say veil because I'm Catholic.
Forest. Where are you going to burst into song? Forest, field of flowers, the beach.
On the go.
On the go in your room while doing chores under a willow tree, and you don't sing.
I don't sing.
I sing everywhere. My favorite hairstyle is a stylish bob, high ponytail, long, really long, bangs, sleek and straight, half up, half down, top knot, and practical.
Sleek and straight. Oh God, I'm gonna get Pocahontas, aren't I?
Someday you want to be a baker, a business owner, a writer, a singer, an athlete, a CEO, or a zoologist or fashion designer.
Fashion designer. That's kind of what I am right now.
In one word, your style is fun, bohemian, vintage, functional, classic, timeless, retro, or colorful.
Classic.
Alrighty, you live in a castle, a tower, apartment, cottage, small town, big city, mansion, or treehouse?
Cottage.
And it's 4 p.m., so you're going to hit the gym or have a snack, see what your friends are up to, have tea, take a stroll, take a nap, do your chores, or work on your chess game.
Take a nap.
At a certain age, that's all you do it, anytime. Alrighty, green, blue, yellow, orange, or red?
Red.
Alrighty, you are Vanellope Von Schweetz.
I hate myself.
You're a Silverman.
One absolute legend on the racetrack. You're always up for an adventure, and you approach every challenge with positivity and curiosity. Congratulations, we all went through this.
I'm also really freaky, and I accuse you of being an anti-Semite all the time.
There you go. Yes. There you go.
I'm honestly surprised I didn't get the glitch character.
Go figure. Yeah. Who did you end up getting, Prof?
I got Cinderella.
Cinderella. Yeah.
That's the best one.
I was and there's a best one. I ended up with Snow White. Yep. I don't know how do you work? I agree with the with Mark. It seems their picking of the Disney princesses are a little bit out there. But really, if you take a look at what all of them have versus what all of them don't have, because some of them aren't even princesses. Mulan marries a soldier, not a king or anything. The only thing all of them have in common are their movies made over $150 million.
The best
Isn't
Disney
Elsa
princess.
a queen? Elsa's a queen, right? So what?
Yeah.
She shouldn't even be in there. It should be what the other
Well,
one. Yeah.
she was a princess.
But Elsa was the one that made Frozen become the international phenomenon it became. So
Hey,
I guess
why
we'll
is
just have to let it go.
Does Pocahontas count as a princess because she's the chief's daughter? Is
Yeah,
that
I think so.
According to the corporate listing, yes, she is part of Disney. Which Megara isn't, even though she married a god. I'm not letting that go. She married a god, but that doesn't qualify her as a Disney princess. Somehow.
She's out. She's out. I mean, come on, Jane's not there either.
No, she's
Oh,
not.
right. Well, does Disney even have the rights to do anything with their version of Tarzan anymore, or they can no longer even mention that they made a Tarzan movie? I don't know how that works.
Well,
I mean, Edgar Rice Burroughs, they licensed Tarzan from Edgar Rice Burroughs, and if that license expired, then they can't really do anything with the character anymore. That's why Tarzan wasn't in Kingdom Hearts 3. There was no Tarzan level. They couldn't use
He wasn't in Once Upon a Time either, come to think of it, and they touched on pretty much every aspect of Disneydom.
It's up
Which is sad, because that means the only other attractive Disney prince is Hercules for me.
Okay.
There you go. All righty. So there you go, gang. That is our brackets. I hope you had a good time. Make sure you're all, if you just saw this, just see the first part first, then come back to this one. I guess this is a little late to say that. But thanks for hanging out with us. That was a lot of fun. I love talking about the rides. I'm glad to have people who've actually ridden them to join in. And next week we could talk about let's talk about some movies. I'll come up with a topic and such, and I'll give it out in case you guys want to actually do some homework or something. Actually watch some Disney movies on it. By the way, did anybody pay the $30?
No.
Hell
no.
My finger is hovering over, and I'm like, can't do it.
I pirated it. I don't know what you were expecting, but I pirated it.
Ladies and gentlemen, homegrown tourists and everybody associated with homegrown tourists does not condone, nor do we suggest pirating of movies.
Screw that noise. Drink up, my heart is your hoe.
All righty, guys. There you go. Thank you for hanging out with us and listening to us talk about Disney rides. It's a lot of fun. And as always, thank you very, very much for watching. And remember, have a zippity
doo-dah-day.
And we'll see you real soon.
No, it's not. We're not killing the zippity doo-dah. Not gonna
The rabbit is an allegory for slavery.